Today, I'm going to talk about two things why it's important to have the right identity. And I think it's going to make a big difference in your life and where you're going. So, one of the biggest things I learned today is having the right identity. So, let me share a story. Many years ago, when my father was alive, one of the biggest things he taught me and my brother and my sister was to know your name and to know that you are an Adams. And he made sure that we, as his children, had the identity that we were Adams. We were not mistakes. We were not accidents, but that we were Adams, last name Adams, and that it meant something. And as time went on, I began to teach my sons to value their name. And I would have them say their names to me on the phone when I lived out of town and say, "What is your name?" "My name is Destin Lawrence Adams." "What is your name?" "Caleb Alexander Adams." Because what I was doing was instilling in them an identity. And what I realized, many of us, me included, have picked up wrong identities from wrong environments. We have picked up wrong identities from wrong environments. Maybe you picked up an environment, or maybe you picked up an identity from the environment that you lived in. Maybe you picked up your identity from your family, or maybe you picked up your identity from your friends. And when our identity is not firmly grounded in who we serve and who we believe in, what's going to happen is we're going to crash out. I can say that because I experienced that. And not that I was having an identity crisis, but more so is my identity was not rooted in God. So I picked up the identity of the environment I was in. And when I begin to look at this, I said, something's not right. So the first thing I did was, let me adjust my behavior. That didn't work. That only lasted for a couple of days. I adjusted my behavior or tried to adjust my behavior. That didn't work. The other thing I tried to do was get into a different environment. You know, people tell you to get into a new environment, it'll change you. That didn't work. But what did help is when I realized or come to the awakening that my identity or how I viewed myself was not correct. And it took many people in my life to say, hey, wake up to the identity to who you really are, your true potential. I have many mentors. I still have a mentor to this day. People that I'm accountable to because they want to make sure the identity of greatness in me is actually seen. So my question to you, who's in your life to say, hey, the identity that you're carrying is not the right identity? See, many of us, I can say, I remember being in sixth grade in Miss Wells' class at Euclid Park. And there was this particular teacher's aide, and I'm not going to say her name, who told us that we, or particularly me or some other people, that we weren't going to make it in junior high school. And that was Margaret Spellacy. And I almost took the identity on. And I was like, wow, I got out of sixth grade. What's going to happen when I get to seventh grade? It's going to be more people from different schools. And I was nervous. And I began to take on the identity. Somehow my father got a hold of that and found out what I was thinking. And he didn't say much. But what he did do, I got through seventh grade, got through eighth grade. Then it was time to go to high school. That year, going to eighth grade, going to the ninth grade, my dad said, hey, what I want you to do every morning when you brush your teeth when you brush your teeth, I hope you brush your teeth in the morning. He said, I want you to look in the mirror and say, I will be on the merit roll and our honor roll. I make A's and B's. I said, this man is crazy. He'd have got hold of this book, The Power of Believing. I was like, man, oh man, what is dad talking about? So every morning, brush my teeth, and I had hair at that time. I brush my waves, and he would say, and I would look in the mirror and say, you're gonna make, I didn't say it with any feeling. I barely believed it. And I said, you know what, you're gonna make merit roll and honor roll. Then I got sort of serious about it during the course of the summer. And I said, I will be on the merit roll. I will make honor roll. I will make A's and B's. And I said, okay. Midway through summer, I had stopped saying it because I was living, I think I was working. I wasn't even thinking about what my dad had told me to do at the beginning of summer. August, September, school starts right after Labor Day. So you got to get your fresh gear. Got the fresh gear. I think I got it from Jay Riggins. Got the fresh gear ready to go. And school starts. I already picked out what classes I want. And I was still a little nervous because my locker was on the first floor. Ninth graders on the first floor. Oh my God, that was crazy in this big old high school. And I began to go to class. And unbeknownly to me, I first didn't do too well. I said, this is crazy. Wait a minute. I don't want to be at school or be in high school for 5 years or 6 years. So I said, what do I do? And I remember what my dad had told me. He said, son, say you would be on the merit roll and honor roll, that you make straight A's and straight B's, or straight A's and B's. I said, okay. Let me reintroduce myself again. Sure enough, as I begin to say that, my identity began to switch from what was said in the 6th grade to what I was saying now in the 9th grade. And my grades began to go up. Why did it go up? Did I become smarter? Did I become more astute? I'm going to tell you the real reason why my grades went up. It's because my identity changed. It changed how I see myself. And because I changed how I see myself, it changed how I performed. Some of you are not performing at your highest level because you don't see yourself beyond the place you were yesterday. Some of you don't see yourself past the opinions of what someone said about you. You would never be any good. You'll never make it out. You're going to always be in the hood. You're going to always be poor. You're not going to have a good marriage. You're going to be they always sell you the victimhood identity. Even on these social media streets, they sell you the victimhood identity. Why? Because if I can get you to embrace the identity of a victim, I can always control you and I will always keep you beneath me. I'm talking to you, brother. What identity are you embracing in your life right now? Who's whispering in your ear from your past that you are still listening to, that's keeping the identity in place? Is it your mother? Is it your father? The lack of a father or the lack of a mother? Is it some people in school who tease you and you still playing that identity inside of your head? You say, oh, that's not me. I'm past that. No, you ain't, because your performance or your actions are saying differently. And you're still holding on to that identity. Let me share this other thing because I think it's so important. Many of us, should I even say this? Many of us hold on to a victim identity because we get more sympathy by playing the victim than embracing the new identity of being a victor. Well, I know what I'm talking about. You get more sympathy from others by playing the victim of an identity than playing the victor and accomplishing something, because you got more excuses than anything. I'm here to shake you up and say, wake up. What is your identity? Or in the words of the great Malcolm X, who has tricked you? Who has bamboozled you? Who has led you astray from the identity of who you really are? Who has given you that victim mentality? Who has told you that you can't accomplish your goals? Who has told you that your identity is that you can only go but so far? I know many of you have heard the story of the mouse in the experiment with the scientist, or the scientist with the mouse. And he puts them in a maze. And this mouse goes through the maze and he figures it out and he stops. So the scientists take him back out and put him in a maze again. And he finally figures it out. Now the scientists put him in a different maze that's more extensive. But because his mind was trained with the first maze, he never makes it out of the second maze because his mind has a barrier of what he can do. How much more you when your identity is not rooted and grounded in who you really are? Let me say that again. Who has tricked you? Who has bamboozled you? Who has led you astray? What social media narrative has told you that marriage can't work? What social media narratives say that you can't get your degree, that you can't accomplish great things? Who has lied to you? Who has led you to believe that that someone is after you, that someone is holding you back? What identity are you really embracing right now? Oh, you don't even know it, that you've been tricked. You don't realize that you've been the rat in that maze and you're trying to get out, but the mental barriers of your identity is holding you back. You can pray, you can cry, you can scream, you can do everything you can to try to suppress that feeling. But you know, as I'm talking to you now, that the identity that you're carrying is not going to take you to the next level. What you need, or what would help, as it did for me, is my dad set me down, because we lived on the third floor of my grandmother's house. And he said, go buy a notebook. I bought a notebook. Let me show you a new identity. A new what? Identity. I was like, man, a new identity. Let me show you who you really are. I never forget, I wrote a book. I think it's right over here. I wrote a book at 37 because I wanted to do it to honor my dad. He was in and out of the hospital, and I went up there because I went up there to cut his hair. I said, Dad, I got to show you something. He's like, oh, what you got to show me, son? I said, I wrote this book. So I did a book of quotes because I know he loved to read. And he read through the book. I read it to him. He's like, this is good, son. I was proud. I was 37. I did something. And my dad looked at me and said, son, I'm proud of you, but there's more books inside of you. And as I'm saying that, I'm like, what? It took me the longest to get this completed. But he says, son, there's more books inside of you. What he was doing was he was expanding my identity past the one book. Who is in your life that can expand your identity past where you are at right now? Who's in your life? You need a person that was like my dad in your life to serve you, to awaken who you are. But most of all, because you need this, someone to tell you to get off of your assets. Let me say that again. Someone to tell you to get off of your assets and begin to cash them in. Some of you are sitting on great potential and you're wondering why things are not working out for you, because no one has taken the time to tell you to get off of your assets. Many of you have been babied, suckling, and no one's told you to get off your assets and actually do something. When are you going to pour back into the world around you? When are you going to make it a difference for the people around you? Your identity is what's holding you up. Let me stop right there. If you're really ready to go to the next level, you're ready for this, I'm inviting you. How can I serve you? The thinking class. How can we serve you to get you to the next level? I'm extending my invitation to you as you watch this simple podcast. If you're ready for that, realize that you don't have to stay that way any longer. Don't you want to be on the other side when you're walking in the fullness of the identity that God has called you to be? Don't you want to walk and the world begins to say, he's walking in his authentic identity? Don't you want the kids around you, your children, your family to say, wow, how can I be like uncle? How can I be like dad? How can I be like grandpa? How can I be like him, my friend, who's walking in his full identity? Don't you want them to secretly say, I'm sort of jealous of them because they're walking in their full identity? I'm offering you this invitation. I want you to reach out to me. In the comments, I'm going to put very simply, Lawrence D. Go to, what is it? It is ldamedia.com. So you can get a part of next level who you are. If you enjoyed what I said right here and this resonates with you, I want you to leave a comment. I want you to leave in a comment, I want my full identity. This is Lawrence D. Adams. This is a thinking class. This is when spirituality and the game combines. You have the thinking class. And I'm out.